Well, welcome to the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society and our new beautiful clinic that we're going to hear more about here in a minute. A lot has happened in COVID, whether you were in your home or in your office. This community continued to do dynamic and amazing things, and we are lucky to do one of the very first ribbon cuttings at such an amazing and incredible accomplishment for our community and for this organization. So I've been asked just to welcome you all here tonight. Looks like there's some goodies that someone might tell us about here in a minute. I think there are going to be some tours in a little bit. But right now it's my distinct pleasure to introduce the mayors. So the mayor of Wenatchee, Frank Kuntz, and the mayor of East Wenatchee, Jennifer Crawford. So they're both going to say a few words, and then they're going to be our ribbon holders tonight.
You got to get used to this. We do this together now, okay? Okay, this is we're one community, okay?
This is our first one.
I know, this is our first time. I totally forgot how to do speeches after 15 months, and I used to hug Mayor Lacy, but I could hug Mayor Crawford too. So, anyhow, thank you all for being here today. Every time I come here, which isn't as often as I should, to tour the facility and see what the Humane Society has done is truly amazing. I got a quick tour earlier, and just thrilled for our community and for our pets and what they do for dogs and cats and all the pets in our community, and just amazed. There's a facility back there, and I'll get the term wrong, for dogs that are struggling with their emotions, and there's a place back there that they can train them. I mean, who would have thought that was a thing? I didn't even know, right? But this is the guy that didn't know we needed a dog park either, so I'm a little bit behind the times, but super excited we have one. Anyhow, I know, and I have a dog in my household too, so little Sid, she runs the house. So anyhow, again, congratulations to the Humane Society. I know there's some board of directors are here as well. Dawn, congratulations on your retirement. Taylor, welcome to our beautiful city. She has found a place to live on this side of the river. So anyhow, I'll turn it over to Mayor Crawford.
Well, this is really exciting. I have a special place in my heart for animals, and then an extra special place in my heart for people who care for our animals. So really excited to see the growth and opportunity that is happening here with our Humane Society. They do a good job of taking care of our pets, and as we all know, through this COVID environment, our pets have been loving on us a lot in the last year and a half, and become very close companions as we spend more time with them, which is a good thing. But I'm excited for this facility. I'm excited for the growth and what's happening here at the Humane Society with new leadership. I think we have a wonderful Humane Society that we can all be very proud of, and it's great to see so much support out here. So I'm just going to turn it back over. I was given special instructions by my husband not to go in and look at dogs because the last time I think I was here for a ribbon cutting, I went home with a dog. So you guys are responsible for keeping me out of there, okay?
Really cute ones. I know. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Who do I go with?
Well, thank you, Mayor Kuntz and Mayor Crawford. We really appreciate you being here. We're going to do the ribbon cutting in a minute. And I want to really thank our board of directors who is standing up here in a line and been such a big part of this decision and where we've come in just a few years of moving into this clinic. So I also want to acknowledge some of our past board members that are out here joining us tonight. So if you could raise your hands, please. Pepe, Cindy, where's Jennifer? As Mayor Kuntz said, that I am planning my retirement. The official last day is June 9th, so not very far away. And that is my pleasure to introduce Taylor Sharp, who is our incoming executive director. And I had to promise Jennifer, our treasurer who went off the board last December, yes, she fit into the budget. It's okay. And I will introduce you to Taylor.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I am elated, is the true word, to be here. This facility, made possible by the community, donors, volunteers, and staff, is truly one of a kind. I have been to a lot of clinics, and this is state of the art. The community is so lucky to have this, and I am so grateful to be a part of it. So I will pass it back off to Dawn, but please know I'm looking forward to working with you, speaking with you, getting to know you, and serving the animals and people of this community together.
So just those of you who are here tonight are because you have been a part of making this clinic a reality. And so why a clinic? What does this clinic do? As some of you remember fondly and maybe a little sadly that this used to be Club Pet. This is where we offered boarding, sometimes grooming, daycare for many of your pets that you left here, and we took care of them for many, many years. And we had a strategic planning session and realized that what we really need in this valley, this community, is a low-cost spay and neuter clinic. And we needed not only a low-cost spay and neuter clinic, but we also needed to provide better veterinarian and medical care for the shelter animals that come into our shelter every year. So because of that, we reduce unplanned litters. And what this clinic does is prevents an overcrowded shelter next door. We have programs for community cats. You might call them feral cats, or we call them community cats. We have a TNR program. And the other thing that this clinic, one of the things that really kind of cinched it to make sure that we are following our mission is that now we are able by Washington state law to provide low-cost veterinarian care to income-qualified pet owners. And some of us might not realize what that really means because most of us have a relationship with our private veterinarians, good relationships. We love them, and we keep them very busy, right? Does everybody help our vets? Yeah. But unfortunately, there is pet lovers just like you and I that cannot afford that kind of care for their pets. And there are times that they have to make a very difficult, emotional decision, possibly to surrender a pet, a member of their family, because they cannot take care of their veterinarian bills or what they might need, whether it's an injury or even a simple vaccination. So that's why. And what this clinic represents is hope. It's hope for our entire community that our pets, no matter who they are or who they belong to, we will take care of them. Mahatma Gandhi said a quote many, many years ago, of course, "The greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way that its animals are treated." So if I were a pet, I would definitely want to live in the Wenatchee Valley. So thank you, all of you, for your part in making this happen. We wouldn't have this clinic today, and we would not be able to serve the mission that we do for thousands of pets every year. So thank you, everyone, for making that happen.
Okay, I'm going to exchange her the mic for the big red scissors. We're going to ask our mayors to hold the ribbon, and then this is the fun part. I get to remember if I know how to count. Usually we count, do you want to count up to 3, or do you want to count down from 3? Do you want to cut on 3 or cut on 1?
3, 2, 1, cut.
Okay. So you're gonna have to help me count that, okay? You guys ready? Yep, so we're going to start with 3. We're going to go down, and we're all going to say cut, and she's going to cut the ribbon. So 3, 2, 1, cut! Woo! Well, we're going to let you go inside and celebrate here in just a moment, but I know that the board behind me would be remiss if I didn't hand this over to Jane for a minute to say a few words. So, Jane.
Thank you, Shiloh. Yes, it's nice to gather with all of our significant others in this time of excitement, but also some sadness in having Dawn Davies retire. She has done, I think, as all of you know, such an extraordinary job in building this campus. When you think back 10 years ago and what existed on this site, it is indeed extraordinary. And therefore, on behalf of the board, we want to give a small token of our appreciation. And we are thrilled to have Taylor come on board. We're very, very happy that we were able to find somebody to attempt to fill Dawn's, I should say, boots. And thank you all for all that you do for the Humane Society and have done over the years. So thank you, my dear. I think hugging is allowed if we're immunized. So anyway, welcome, please. And if you haven't yet, come get a beverage and our individually packaged appetizers so that they're pandemic approved or whatever. But again, thank you.
I'm going to turn it over to anyone. Okay, Renee's going to tell us now what we get to do.
That's yeah. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for making this a reality. And as Jane said, please help yourself to, we have water, cider, wine over here, lots and lots of great charcuterie boxes. And then when you checked in, Jordan gave everybody a little ticket, and that is your tour time to take a tour of the new clinic. So you'll meet your tour host right at the front door at that time. So when you're kind of keep track of your time and then pop up here and they'll run you through the clinic and you'll get to see all the wonderful things that our fantastic clinic staff does. Thank you.
This is almost like Rotary, you know, the past presidents can't put the microphone down. But now I wanted to take an opportunity to introduce and thank our clinic staff. So I neglected to do that. And Dr. Ganesan, can you wave your hands, please? Dr. Ganesan, she has been with us just about 2 years. And Dr. Vega. Dr. Vega just joined our team in December, so we're really proud to have 2 full-time veterinarians on staff. And Talia has been with us for 6-7 years, maybe, something like that. Yeah, she worked at the shelter and now is a great vet assistant at our clinic. And Shauna, licensed vet tech. Couldn't do anything without her. Emily, thank you so much. Emily has a lot of experience in animal welfare. She worked at the shelter also before coming to the clinic. And Leticia, is she here? Where? Oh, she's doing what she does. She's at the front desk making phone calls. So yes, she's scheduling those spay and neuter appointments. Go Leticia. So thank you, everyone.
Come on in. Welcome. Oh no, we'll go short distances. So, let's get everyone in. Hi. Okay. What?
I added 2 extra.
Okay, great, great. Okay. Welcome everyone officially to the inside of the clinic. This is our lobby. As you can see, it is giant and beautiful, which allows us to better serve all of the clients that come in right now. Obviously, clients aren't coming inside because of COVID, but eventually, clients will be able to come in. We have beautiful large desk here. We have a weighted scale, which is very nice for those big dogs. And then you'll see our absolutely fabulous donor wall. So these are everyone that donated at a certain level to make this clinic happen. Really why the clinic is able to be here is because of the names on that wall. So very, very grateful to them. We can start this way. I'll take you in. It's the same on both sides. I'm gonna take you into an exam room. We have one for dogs, which is over here, and one for cats. This is one of our exam rooms. What's special about this exam room is that we can not only see little dogs, we can also see very large dogs. We have this table right here that actually goes all the way down to the floor. So if we have a dog that has a broken, say a broken pelvis, or a really, really heavy dog that's not safe to pick up, This table can go all the way to the ground and pick up so our doctors can see it very easily, which is, it sounds small, but it is a huge convenience for our staff and for the dog and the pet owner. So the first thing you'll notice is our pharmacy right here. This is where we house and dispense a whole bunch of different medications for the animals. This is kind of a luxury that we're able to actually sort them in a manner that makes sense and is efficient for our staff. So if we have an emergency situation come in, we know exactly where that medicine is and we can get it really quickly. Again, sounds small, but is a huge increase in efficiency and allows us to treat more animals. This is our cat recovery room, if you want to come look at it. It's currently empty, but this is where all of our cats will be housed in between surgery, in between treatments, and after treatments. So we are able to take in this many cats currently. And what's really nice is that the facility is big enough that if we ever feel like increasing capacity, we actually have space to add more kennels, which is, I've never actually seen in a shelter clinic before. Absolutely fantastic. This is called a prep table. Stations, we can have 2 different animals being prepped at once. This special machine right here is called a wet table. Basically, it allows us to be able to do surgeries that require constant water flow, specifically dental procedures. So an animal can have their mouth open and we can keep them in the least amount of pain possible by having water flowing, keeping them sterile, keeping everything clean, less messy. Wonderful. Here is where we actually perform the procedures. We currently have 2 operating tables, but we have space for 2 more. So at some point, we're hoping to raise funds for 2 more tables and 2 more lights. These things, while they don't look very expensive, they're very expensive because they allow the doctors to actually be able to see when the animal is open all the way inside. They're very special, intense lights. Don't look right into it without glasses. See it? Beautiful, right? Okay. Across the way, we have small dog recovery. That is where we take our puppies, the small dogs, and occasionally a large dog that needs a little extra special confinement. This is really nice because it closes, and if you've never had a puppy, you might not know puppies are very loud. They have a lot to say. So this is nice to be able to close the door. We can still see them to make sure everything's good, but we don't necessarily have to hear everything the puppy has to say. Then over here, we have what will be large dog recovery. We are currently in the middle of an aluminum shortage. Just like you can't get a bike, you can't really get recovery kennels right now. So those are on their way, but they're not here just yet. So we have crates in there that work just fine, a little less fancy, but they work really well. Back here, we have kind of a space where we can pack, those are called surgery packs. They're sterilized packs of different surgical tools that they need, different tubes for intubation. And then this really small but really powerful room is our isolation unit. So if an animal comes in and they have something that's really contagious or they need a lot of extra space, they're too nervous, those types of things, we can put them in here. And in most shelters, if an animal with something really contagious needs treatment, there's not much you can do. This room allows us to save a lot of animals. So this room over here is our X-ray machine. What's really neat about this machine is that it's digital and we don't have to pay per use. So we had a cat come in the other day that wasn't using its back legs. And typically, if you didn't have this, you'd have to go to a private practice vet and you have to pay a lot of money. And for the shelter, that's really cost prohibitive. You might not be able to afford that at that point. We just put the cat on the table, took a couple x-rays, good to go because that's already paid for. So it's very easy for us to just make sure we're ruling out everything on this x-ray machine. That is a humongous piece of equipment that is well worth its weight. So we're excited to have that. Then we have a laundry room back there to clean everything. And in here, it's a sneaky room. You can come on back. This room, all right, there's no one in here. This room is a TNR room. So TNR stands for trap, neuter, return, or release. And what that means is for outdoor community cats, we have people that go out and they set specific traps for them. Then what's really neat is we have a couple trappers that we know that we have a quick access code in. They can get through this door, come in, and leave the cats. So the cats are safe and they're ready for surgery in the morning. This is really helpful for allowing us to make sure we can get as many cats in as possible and not having to do too much coordination work with the trappers. This will allow us to be able to bring in 30 cats a day when we get to that point. It's huge. So this is our staff break area, and this does close off. So when we are closed, if someone comes in and drops off cats, they cannot get into the clinic. These are different dog play yards. This is where we help exercise some dogs. Dogs that are just coming out of surgery can easily come out here. It's not too much space for them to kind of like wobble around and hurt themselves. So these are very nice. These yards are also used for, in the back, we have what's called behavior modification program, which you heard. The dogs with some emotional baggage, per se, come here and they get a little extra time with our trainers, with our staff, and we use these yards to help keep them in one space so they feel safe, secure, and they're not interacting with everyone or distracted by all the shelter noise. This is essentially an indoor exercise yard, training yard for those dogs that need a little extra time, a little extra attention. This allows us to work with those dogs in a larger individual space. As you can hear, you don't hear anything else, which some of those dogs get really kind of overstimulated, feel a little bit too much when they can hear another dog. This allows them to have total privacy and allows us to really have a lot of space to do what we need to do. We can set up agility in here. If a dog needs some agility, they can chase the ball. We can do whatever we need to do in this huge, gorgeous space. Everything in here is, we're able to sterilize it. So if they have an accident, it's no problem. And it makes us kind of 4 seasons available to get them to run a whole bunch. This is brand new. That's why it smells so strong, but it's state of the art, keeps their feet very happy. And if they were to run, say, in wood chips or gravel or those types of things, they run the risk of hurting their paws and their feet. This keeps their feet very happy. So that is our clinic and our behavior modification area.